Hello friends, my name is Real Emile and welcome back to Forza Horizon. We're going to be carrying on our Let's Play today and we're going to go and pick up our pink wristband. Now, two things you might notice quickly before we do that. I've got more money and there's two extra cars in my garage. I tried to record some of the Horizon Rally expansion, however, as it turns out, I got quite angry with it. So you will never see them episodes because they're deleted now. But it wasn't pretty, that's all I'm going to say. Right, let's pick up our pink wristband and we'll go see what we're doing.
Hey, a pink wristband. People are starting to talk about you as a potential champion. Keep it up.
Okay, there we go. Look at the pink. How shiny. Anyway, what I was thinking of doing today is actually getting some more cars in our garage. Ooh, many events. Alright, just have a quick check out what we got. Ridge Rave, Red Rock. Yeah, so as you can see, we've got a lot more new events popping up. So I figured a good idea will be to stockpile on some cars to get. So I was kind of thinking of doing maybe some of these star showdowns, some showcase events, and actually find some of these barn finds we've got lying about all over the place. I think barn find wise is what we'll start with, and we'll start over here. Now, they're not really barn finds as such, because I know exactly where they are. Which, yeah, it's a bit, yeah. But, you know, I played this game a lot, what can I say? We can now complete in pink events, so that's good. Excuse me. So let's track down this misty, dusty path of secrets. Shouldn't really be off-roading in a rear-wheel drive BMW, but you know, things happen. If you want to see this car and the build on it and so on and so forth, feel free to look at the 1000 Club videos, which are going up alongside these to a certain extent. On some days there won't be a 1000 Club, on other days there'll be multiple 1000 Clubs. It depends on sort of when I want to record it and so on and so forth. One thing I'm trying to do is I'm trying to record one after each and every Let's Play so I don't kind of ruin it, if you know what I mean. Because I want to schedule these to go up sometime after. That's the barn there. Okay, let's find out what goodies lie inside for us. It's BMW M1 by the looks of it.
You don't see many of these. One of the rarest BMWs ever produced, the M1. Boy, is she a looker. Give me some time, and she'll look like she just rolled out of the showroom.
Okay, apparently I'm not going to sneeze. Yeah, so that's the BMW M1 found. Pretty cool car, the BMW M1. I've spoke about it quite a few times on this channel. We featured it in... it was like the classic something racing, classic touring, somewhat to do with Forza 5. And we did it there, so... yeah, that was fun. Ooh, where's the barn find here? I think it's on... if I remember rightly, it's in some house somewhere along here. I know the barn finds to an extent. Some of them, like this one, mystify me all the time. Which, to be fair, ironically, you would presume the ones that are harder to find you'd remember more because you've been searching for them for the most amount of time. But apparently, no, that's not how my brain likes to function. Ooh, that's it down there. I see it. Power. There's a Radical there. Very cool car, Radical. We're probably going to have to get one at some point. And that's a Gullwing by the looks of it.
Oh, man, now that's a barn find from heaven. This pretty lady is a Mercedes-Benz 300 SL Coupe, and I'm sure you'll agree, she is one of the most beautiful cars ever made. It's going to be a real pleasure restoring her to her former glory. And when I'm finished, you will have one of the most collectible cars in the world.
You would have thought if a shiny, bright Mercedes was featured in a barn somewhere, someone would have surely seen it by now if the barn doors were like wide open. Yeah, I don't particularly know. We'll do this showcase event over here because why not? What is it? The wind tunnel. That's the Corvette one. Yes, it is. So in this showcase event, we're going to have to race against a helicopter and try and beat it. And it's a showcase event. And that's about all I can think that's interesting to say about it. Yes. Obsessed over the terribly detailed helicopter. Grand Theft Auto 3 had better looking helicopters, but whatever. I mean, whatever. We are in the Corvette C6, which is the C6 Corvette. I've spoke about cars like this before on my channel. It's kind of, for me, I can never get that car right. It's like the one at the Top Gear track. Cars like this, for me, it's kind of like the BMW M3, and oh god, I used another example. I can't remember what it was. It's a car I don't particularly hate, and I'd like it. Don't get me wrong. I wouldn't say no if someone gave me one, but it's not a car I strive to own in these games. It's not one of those cars that I look at my garage and go, yes, my garage would be complete if I had a Corvette C6. It's the same with the ZL1, the mental superchargy thing. Yeah, don't get me wrong, it's a really, really good car. Corvettes are good cars. Or at least the later model ones. The C7's a fantastic thing. Now that's a car I like a lot, but the C6 isn't, I don't know, it's just not one of them cars for me that's particularly desirable. And I know I'm going to annoy a lot of Corvette fans with that, but it's just not my cup of tea. There we go. That helicopter is officially been overtaken. Basically, this is similar to the plane race we did in the introduction. Not quite as similar as the hot air balloon race, because that one you barely saw the hot air balloon until the end, so this one it's sort of constantly flying over you. I can't imagine it would be very fun to drive this Corvette at the moment underneath a helicopter with it blowing all the wind and everything at you, but I'm used to driving rally cars and small cars, so now that I'm used to the gear ratios being so close together. Well, as in this Corvette, they're really not. We're going to understeer, but we're going to be alright. Can we beat the helicopter? He's going to let up on the final bit, isn't he? Yep, that always happens. We claim victory. Sorry, my nose is a bit runny at the moment. Yay, I get a Corvette. Fantabulous. The Grand Sport convertible. No, we won't get in it. We'll stick with our BMW. And of course, Mr. Madness beating us on the bounty events as per usual. Because apparently he's good at driving or something. Righto, where are we going next? We could do that Star Showdown, or we could look for the barn finds over here. Do I want to do a showdown? I don't really want to do many races in today's video, to be honest with you. I think I'm going to leave that for the next few videos to do some races and stuff. So we'll just fast travel over here and see what's what. Pick up the barn find, go to Red Rock. We'll check how much time we've been on, and then I might do some of the showcase events. Go. Yeah, apparently it's not very fast in reverse this, but oh well. Where are we going? It's not over there. That's not it. Ooh. Where's the barn around here? I'm not too sure. Ah, there it is. Kind of sticks out like a sore thumb. You can, all the barns look exactly the same, so you can kind of tell where one is. And I believe that is, yes, it is. It's God's own creation.
My, will you look at her? The things people leave to luck in a barn. This is the Bugatti EB110 Supersport, built to resurrect one of the most evocative brands the world has seen. Back in the 90s, this was one of the most technically advanced cars that had ever been created.
Very good. I do like the EB110 a lot, and of course it's the fastest car in this game, with a Veyron engine put in it, because it's lighter than the Veyron. Right, Red Rock, I can pretty much tell you the barn is there, from what I remember. Watch me get it wrong and be like miles out, but I don't think I am. No, I'm out. Actually, I know where it is. Don't worry, all is fine. I was just teasing you. Honest, that's what I was doing. It is not there. Okay, we will do that in a bit. There we go. There she is. See? Look, I knew. Smack.
I am really impressed with this find, and I wouldn't be surprised if you recognized her. The Aston Martin DB5 Vantage, one of roughly 65 in the world, a true 60s British classic. She needs a bit of the old magic here and there, but I'll have her gleaming like a movie star when I'm done.
And we finally found the Aston Martin DB5, another very, very cool car, right. I don't think we've actually got any more of these about. So should we just go and do some showcase events? Or do we do the... I'm torn between doing the star showcases or doing these. We're going to do that one first. And then we'll sort of go through by class, I guess. It's the best way to do it. I kind of almost want to do these events in order, I guess. But we didn't really... They sort of all got unlocked in bulk almost, so... Apparently got rammed by something there while I was checking the recording stuff. Oh yes, it's a very fantastic car, this one. The Fiat 500 Abarth. There's a nice Lamborghini Reventon. Convertible. Very cool car. Very expensive though. There she is. There's our little Fiat. Interesting glitch on this race as well. I'll show you in a minute. If you actually look on here, B501. Apparently, technically this is an A-class car, but when the game gives it to you, it makes it a B-class. So I don't know. It starts off on D-class, so I don't know. We're definitely not keeping it in B-class. I can tell you that much because it's not fantastic in B-class. I've got to be honest. It's a bit too powerful. The Abarth 500 anyway is a little bit on the, how do we say, understeery, lift off oversteery side. It's very fun, don't get me wrong, like, but it's, I don't know. It's not the nicest car to drive. It's not stock, so of course when you put more and more power into it, it's going to get more and more unruly. That's just the way front wheel drive cars work. They actually created a 260 horsepower track version of this car. It looks completely mental. The problem with it, of course, is it's like 60,000 pounds. And as much as I love the Fiat 500, I think this is a fantastic looking. I think it's a fantastic, just a fantastic car in general, and fantastic expression of style. It isn't worth 60,000. You know, I would draw the line on a Fiat at 30,000. That's for like any Fiat ever. Of course, if we're not counting like Ferrari Fiats and Lancia Fiats. But yeah, it's kind of where I draw the line on a Fiat 500. But Jay Leno's got one of these. He's also got a, well, he had the first ever 500 sold to an American customer. He auctioned that off in some, it was like a charity event, and he auctioned it off like $350,000. It was absolutely ridiculous. And like I said, as much as I love Fiat 500, personally I wouldn't pay that for it, but yeah, unless they make like a Fiat 500 tank, or I don't know, one that can turn invisible, or can turn amphibious, you know, then, you know, I might consider spending 30,000 on it. But yeah, I love these cars though. Seriously, this is a fantastic car. I was actually posting about one of these on Twitter. If I had the money for it, I would have bought it right there and then. I was at a car dealership, and there was actually one of these for sale. Not on a Bath, it was a 500, but it was the C version, which I've always been a bit skeptical on, but it looked absolutely fantastic. Low mileage, twin air engine, black leather interior. It was utterly awesome, but unfortunately I don't have money growing on trees and
I'll be in touch
so on and
with
so
your
forth.
driver for other showcases.
I don't think they'd take much from my current car, which is a Volkswagen Polo. Yeah, I'll get in this car. I don't know what the dog's barking at. I apologise if you can hear that. Presume it involves a remote control car by the sounds of it. Yeah, don't ask. Oh, oh, oh. Okay, let's go and do this showcase event now. The biplane beatdown, and I know exactly which car you win from this, and it's a fantastic, fantastic car. It's actually, I think you unlock this showcase event before you unlock the one to get this car, so that's a bit of interesting factual.
It's just you, the road, and, well, a plane.
Believe me, a biplane would be destroyed by a Ferrari F40. Anything gets destroyed by a Ferrari F40. You just have to... If a car looks at Ferrari F40, it just burns to death. I love the F40. It's such an awesome, awesome car. It's great looking. It was the first car to ever... Or road legal car, sorry. Ever to reach 200 miles an hour. Yeah, it's quite an incredible supercar, this. And... probably the greatest Ferrari ever made. That's not a hard assumption to come to. Is it my personal favourite? Ferraris. I do like the 250 California. I also like the 355 355. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you know what, I think this might be... Ooh, the F50 though. I do like the F50. Not a lot of people do. They say driving it's kind of like driving with an F1 engine strapped to your back. But that's the whole point of a supercar, right? To have a big, ridiculous engine strapped to your spine, sent on your way. Yeah, I do like the F50 as well. Choosing between this and an F50 would be difficult. I think I'd have to have both, personally, but can't be greedy, but you know, I can't pick between these two. Although, to be fair, while I'm driving it, I'm sort of edging towards the F40. The F40 in games as well is surprisingly nice to drive. It's very planted. Sure, there's a bit of understeer and a bit of oversteer here and there, but actually there's virtually no oversteer. The game is either tuned this one actually quite well, or... yeah, to be fair, it's usually... I've drove for one of these stock quite a lot. It's actually one of my S1 class cars of choice in Horizon 2, if it's a tight twisty thing, just because it's so nice to drive. It's unbelievably nice to drive, the F40. The F50, I haven't played about with it too much on Horizon 2. I completed the retro supercar thing on Forza 5 entirely in the Ferrari F50, but... yeah. The F40 probably would have been a better choice, but... hey, we've got our first million. That's cool.
Just like that. You earn the appearance fee and the car. Thanks.
Awesome, thank you. Do you want to get in this car? Yes, I do. Let's get in the Ferrari F40, why not? Awesome car, awesome car. I've got a slight suspicion... nah. Let's just correct this. Yeah, this is from the rally experience I had. I had to drop down the difficulty. I do apologise, but it had to be done. Yeah, my rally driving really didn't go well, so... I'll still try and throw the rally cars in at some point. Hell, I might actually go back and do the rally expansion once the full Let's Play is over, but... don't worry, Dak, I'll come and pick it up after I've finished this showcase event. Oh, look, there's another one. He's definitely productive, isn't he? Jesus. I really like the Horizon 2 way of doing stuff, even though it's completely pointless. I just like the detail they've put in Horizon 2 to the biome points. If you actually go and they're not done, you can pay a ridiculous amount of money to finish them faster.
Event, right?
Ooh,
Another
Aventador.
pilot who thinks that air beats asphalt. Show him who's boss, and you take away the car you bossed him in.
So, a Ferrari F40 wasn't beaten by a biplane, so you somehow think versing a faster Lamborghini Aventador. Yeah, it's confused me. But yeah, on Horizon 2 you can pay like 354,000 credits or something like that to finish off restorations, but it says like, oh, well, they're finding the transmission and stuff like that, so it's quite crazy. I like it. It probably makes sense if you found one of your favourite cars and you needed to use it like right at the moment, but to be honest with you, I don't really have much quandary with waiting another 5 minutes for a car to arrive instead of paying that much for it. I'm quite cheap when it comes to games and to real life actually. But of course, if you ignore the fact that I just bought like 4 full seasons of Top Gear on the Microsoft Video Store because I need something to watch while I upload, and if you download them then they don't take up your internet and it's all good. Okay, so while the Ferrari was very nice to drive, this is understeery. I know the Aventador's understeery by design anyway, so yeah, it's not too bad, but it's still a bit. For the city streets, you know, another problem of course could be the fact that the Aventador is just so much faster than everything we've previously driven. I mean, it's doing 100 in second gear, although that is quite terrible understeer. It's not as bad as it was on Gran Turismo. The Aventador is horribly, just terrible to drive on that game. There's so much understeer, which is quite amazing when you consider, like, everyone who's road tested this has said, oh yeah, they focused on handling and it's a really nice handling car and so on and so forth. The Murcielago on Forza 4 probably handles better than the Aventador does. Yeah, we got no... Did you see... I was turning the wheel fully, there was just nothing happening. You definitely need to brake through the corners in this, it would have been. Brakes. And that's still not really helping, but at least we don't smack into the wall at the tunnel. Come on, give me power. Yeah, I'd definitely rather be driving, I don't know, the F40 around here. I was trying to think of Lamborghinis I could have compared to this, but to be honest with you, I can't think of any. I love the Aventador. By the way, I don't think I'm like knocking the Aventador. I think this is an awesome car. Probably my favourite Lamborghini, although I'm quite partial to the LP640. The Murcielago. Yeah, I think I said Murcielago, I'm not sure. Yeah, we did it.
Great driving. The crowd loves you. The sponsor is delighted. You can keep the car. Well done.
Thank you. There we go. We've got... Actually, I believe we've finally got a decent hypercar behind us. If we're being really cheap on the final event, the good thing to do is actually just fully upgrade the Aventador. It reaches S2 class anyway. Which, to be fair, if we don't have like decent enough cars by then for the finale, then I'll definitely just use the Aventador. Is there anything else we can do? Ooh, another showcase. Rough and Ready. Let's go and do that. I believe that's a new one that just unlocked like a minute ago, so we shall go and do that. We shall go and do that. Sign me up, baby. There we go. Now we get to use a bright green rough, which looks fantastic. There she is. My baby. This has got a lot of power. There we go. We're getting another hugely powerful car. This is R3 as well. Yeah, I've got to admit it. I'm not a huge fan of the Porsche 911. It's just a bit too... I don't know. There's something about it I don't like. It's a bit cockish. It's a bit... well, Volkswagen Beetle-like. And the Beetle's a horrible, horrendous, stupid car. However... the modern 911, the 997, I quite like, and this rough version I love. I don't know whether I love it just because it comes in bright, offensive green, and I love colours. I love cars that just come in silly colours, and this is a prime example of a car that comes in a very silly colour, and I absolutely love it. I quite like the favourite 911s. I like the 997 GT3 RS. I like the 1973 Carrera as well, although I understand that's extremely costly. It's for a decent one anyway. But other 911s, I mean, the GT2, the 993, I want to say, the one with the big, huge, wide body kit on it. I quite like that one, yeah, I don't know why either, because that was... If you look at it, you'd probably say it's an ugly car, but to me, I'd say it's quite a good-looking car. Yeah. I think most of the reason I just don't like 911s is I didn't like the 996. I don't know, there was something about it. As a kid... Growing up, the 996 was the predominant Porsche, and I never liked it, ever. I thought it was a bit ugly, to be perfectly honest with you. But the strange thing is, I'm thinking in my head, sort of at the moment, you know, I like the look of the 911s, but at the same time, I just don't like the 911s. It's one of them things, in my head, every time I bring up the Porsche 911, I constantly have a debate. I don't like Porsche as a company, because... I don't know, I just don't. I don't like the Kate. I don't like any Cayman apart from the GT4. I strangely like that as well, I don't know why. I don't like the Cayman, I don't like the Cockster, because it was, well, it's made for people who, let's be honest, can't actually afford a Porsche 911. I don't like the Cayenne, because that's just owned by people who live in Cheshire. Yeah, it's, no offence to people who live in Cheshire, by the way. Just clarifying. There's like a new Real Housewife show and it's set in bloody Cheshire. And they all drive Porsche Cayennes, so yeah. Yeah, I don't like Porsches, but the 911's alright, I guess. There's some models in 911 I like, other models I don't. The new one I'm not a huge fan of, although to be fair, there's not really that much different in the designers.
You get the appearance fee and you can keep the car. Not bad for a few minutes work.
No, it's not at all, is it? Yeah, it's only, apparently when we get it, it's 788. I don't quite know what's going on there, but whatever. Right, how long have we been recording for? 27 minutes. Well, I think that's... Ooh, the battery pack's fallen off that. I think that's a pretty good time to wrap up, actually. So, I'm going to wrap it up here. I want to thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, my friends, farewell.